the Fade 5 podcast with Brad Evans and Nate Lundy.
Place your bets at Jack Wagons. Brad, the big noise Evans here, joined by the good son, Nathaniel Lundy. 'Tis indeed another Tuesday edition of the Fade 5 podcast. Let's not waste all the people's time and certainly, hopefully, at least not their money. Let's hop aboard the Honk Plus Bus. Our favorite wagers on this Tuesday, or maybe looking ahead in college football, maybe looking ahead in the NFL season, which Lundy certainly will not do. Plus 100 odds or greater is the rule you must follow. Lundy, give me something.
There's a couple of things. First and foremost, I am not a rule follower, which would explain, hey, I really thought I had a chance to be the vice presidential nominee. I really did.
I was stacking all kinds of greenbacks on that.
I thought I nailed the Zoom interview.
Yeah.
I had like a good background and all that. I mean, pictures of my family, all right. No, anyway, I'm not a rule follower, but what I am is a guy trying to cash tickets, and we're going to go into the late night tip, shall we? Let's talk Dodgers and Teoscar Hernandez. Give me the over on his 1.5 total bases this evening against those Philadelphia Phillies at a plus 110. Now, full disclosure, I have also thrown a half unit on 3 total bases. In terms of scaling this one up, you can do that at a plus 225. I just like this matchup for him. He continues to be playing hot, and I repeat, do not underestimate the return of Freddie Freeman to this lineup and what it does to the rest of the order. I think that having him back, you saw the standing O that the fans at Chavez Ravine gave him last night upon the return, being out for a couple of weeks, caring to his son. So you put all that together. I just think this is going to align well. We know that Hernandez went yard last night. Thank you, Teoscar. I actually had a bet on him to go yard last night. But I think he continues that trend. I don't want to quite go for the back-to-back and the home runs, but I like the idea of the total bags at plus 110. And like I said, I sprinkled a half unit as well for him to get up to 3.
Yeah, Teoscar showing a lot of testicular fortitude here the last really several weeks since the All-Star break, in which the home run champ really turned up the heat, and he has carried that over into the second half of the Major League Baseball season. Let's get a little insane in the membrane, insane in the brain. Yeah, cue the Cypress Hill in the background. I cannot believe I can actually parlay these, but you can at DraftKings. It is a 6-legger. These are all futures. All of these guys got to hit a wide receiver milestone of 1,000 yards this NFL season. You can mix and match with like 200 different names, whatever it is to your liking, and you can parlay those up all the way to those 6 legs. So I maximize the opportunity. And if it occurs with all these individuals, a cool plus 195 there at DK Lundy. So here are the names. Cooper Kupp, all the buzz right now of Rams training camp, and Puka Nacua dealing with a dinged knee. He is viewed as week to week. I don't think he's going to miss any time, but Kupp is looking like the old version of Cooper Kupp, healthy and motivated to do some serious damage in that Rams wide receiver core. DJ Moore, it's not, bear down, Chicago Bears. It's really bears up right now, especially offensively with Caleb Williams here in the mix. Probably going to see 20 to 25% of the target share. Yes, with Roma Dunze. Yes, with Keenan Allen and Cole Kmet on roster. I think he's going to eclipse the 1,000-yard mark. How about Marvin Harrison Jr.? He is going to see nothing but targets. He might get like 150 this year. You got a decrepit defense, which will lead to some high volume opportunities. I think he's going to coast past this number. The only thing that will prevent it is the menacing injury amp. Numero cuatro, give me Chris Olave of the New Orleans Saints. Yeah, Derek Carr sucks. We can unanimously agree on that. And Taysom Hill may get some snaps under center and a larger package role for him. But Chris Olave, one of the best burners down the field, and Carr actually throws a decent deep ball. So I think he'll hit the 1,000-yard mark. Garrett Wilson, leg numero 5 for me, a guy that should easily eclipse this. Another person that's due for probably 140, 150 targets, provided that there are going to be cleaner looks from Aaron Rodgers the entire year. a guy that will easily get some chunk gains down the field and will certainly beat up defenses in the short to intermediate field. And leg numero 6, rah, 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 Amon-Ra St. Brown, bow down the sun god. This was the lowest of low-hanging fruit. A very high juice at like minus 2,500 on the individual leg. But adding it with the other 5 dudes, and you get it up to plus 195. He'll get there with all kinds of ease with the chemistry that he's already built with one Jared Goff. And, of course, just being the centerpiece of that vertical attack for Dan Campbell and company. So 6-legger. They all got to hit 1,000 yards receiving this year. Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison Jr., Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, and Amon-Ra St. Brown plus 195 at DraftKings. Lundy, definitely fading that. What else is he going to fade? Well, let's get to it with another edition of the Fade 5.
Number 5.
Rosico on the countdown. Oh, what a quickie dink. Another NFL future that, again, Lundy has a bitter taste for, but this one's going to taste sweet on the tongue, I believe. How about the guy who's going to be twirling spirals to one Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford? I say he throws 4,000 yards, and that's available right now at plus 110. Again, in those milestone props at DraftKings Sportsbook. Mike Clay at ESPN's got it projected for 4,065 yards. Yeah, you look at some of the surface measurements that are out there, they're unappealing. Number 9 in terms of hardest overall strength of schedule, but he was number 7 last season in deep ball completion percentage. Yeah, he's got a below average offensive line. Yeah, we'll see about Puka Nacua in that tender knee, but with Kupp, with Higbee, with Demarcus Robinson, who had his moments last year, Kyron Williams, and a very sure-handed receiver out of the backfield, and a player or two that averaged 34.7 pass attempts per game. It was number 8 in air yards per attempt. I say Stafford throws for at least 4,000 this season. Lundy, I have talked long enough. Fade or follow?
Yeah, I took a nap. If you were watching the video, I was like, there was something I've been looking for all morning in my office. I took a minute to look for it.
You did.
I mean, I could have made another cup of coffee in this time, which I could really use right now. I could have done any of those things in the amount of time that you've been BSing about NFL futures. By the way, my prediction in your 6-legger.
Oh, and Lundy just lost his internet connection. You
What?
That was a cliffhanger. That was awesome. I have no idea. Let me guess. I didn't hear it.
Okay.
We didn't record it. I'm going to say that DJ Moore is a leg that you were going to think fails. No?
No, Cooper Kupp.
Oh, okay.
I think you're going to get hosed by Kupp. I'm not convinced how many games he's going to be able to play.
Okay.
And by the way, I feel the same way about Aaron Rodgers. I don't know that Aaron Rodgers is going to finish off the season. All right.
Give me 10 games that I still think Garrett Wilson gets there.
Yeah, he probably could. The great, who is it? Tyrod Taylor. Is that his backup?
Yeah, I mean, there was a number of backups there, but yeah, Tyrod, I believe, is the next man up.
I don't know. Who cares? I do like this one, though, for Stafford to eclipse 4,000 because it doesn't matter whether Kupp's on the field or not. That ball is going through the air. Take Stafford over the 4,000. I'm not doing it with my money, but feel free to do it with yours.
Oh, I'm breaking the piggy bank, baby. I'm going to get paid in January on Matthew Stafford over 4,000 pass yards.
Number 4.
Numero Quattro of the Fade 5. Let's go to the Major League Baseball Diamond. I had a hot start to the night last night. So did Lundy with all his Teoscar action. So let's continue to build up the bankroll. A little 2-legger here. Give me Shota Imanaga, leg numero uno, on the under 18.5 outs. And give me Mackenzie Gore over 1.5 walks. And put those hands together, plus 133 there at BetMGM. Shota is taking on the Minnesota Twins, and the Twins have had a very high success rate against port-siders or left-handed pitchers this season. Number 9, as a matter of fact, on the year, and WRC plus against those LHPs, and they're number 8 and WRC plus on the road. An aggressive swinging team that really jumps on some of those first opportunities, which could be fat off the hand of the Japanese import. Showed a much higher home ERA this season at 3.38. He has been under 18 and a half out. So he has not gone beyond 6 1/3 in 5 of his last 7 starts. And you look at the Twinkies as well, number 7 in WRC plus of the last couple of weeks. I say Shota goes 6, but does not go a single out more at Wrigley Field tonight. And meanwhile, Mackenzie Gore over 1.5 free passes. He's taking on the San Francisco Giants, who are number 12. And based on balls percentage the last 2 weeks, earning that free pass, 8.4% of their plate appearances. Gore on the season, 3.57 walks per 9, and even higher at home in this game being played in the nation's capital. That mark being at 3.98. He's issued at least a pair of walks in 6 of his last 8 games, making 7 of his last 9. So to recap, two-legger Major League Baseball, Shota Imanaga under 18 and a half outs in his matchup against the Twins, and Mackenzie Gore over 1.5 walks in his bout against the Giants, plus 133 at BetMGM. Lundy, fade or follow.
Nice and simple, but here's what I want to know. Is Imanaga going to hit his K prop?
What is it, 6.5?
No, I think it's a heck of a lot lower than that. Pause for 1 second.
Way.
Talk amongst yourselves. Hang on a second.
It couldn't be 4.5. It's probably split the difference there.
You settle down, Beavis. Right. It is 5.5, and if you take the over, it is plus 100.
Okay, I could be enticed by that. The only reservation I have, again, Minnesota is a very free swinging, if I could say this correctly, first pitch team. A lot of F's in there. So they really jump on that opportunity if it is over across, the center of the plate. And Imanaga, there was a lot of first pitch strikes. So that's my only, pause for the cause of taking the over. But, I mean, plus money, it's awfully enticing.
Yeah, you might be able. I mean, I think he's good for. I think he's definitely good for 4, which is why if you do the milestones, you're looking at a guy that's like minus 425 or something like that.
Yeah.
Then you get to 5, and you're like, okay, yeah, we're sitting in kind of middling money, but I think this line actually opened at 4.5, and it's moved up, and that's why we're seeing the 5.5 at the plus dollars. So it's really just a matter of whether you think he can take advantage of that Twins lineup or not. Plus, if you think he's going to go under, or you think that they're going to somehow get to him a little bit early, that could play with it. So I like the idea on the under on the outs, by the way. I'm fine with Gore on the walks. I think he built a really good 2-legger here. I was just curious your thoughts on your North Side boy and his strikeout prop. As we start to get into August, you start to get into September, sometimes these pitchers, you're like, wait a minute, how many innings have they already done this year? Hey, we want to see this guy, whatever. So I start to worry sometimes about the inning count, and the strikeout count tend to go much more towards the batters, especially on teams that are in some kind of a wild card hunt. But this one, nice and simple, play it plus 133.
Oh, Cubs backs against the wall. Please, Shota, just don't suck.
Number 3.
All right, Numero Trey's here on the countdown today. In the Fade 5, I think it's going to be a great day, and that's in a good way for the St. Louis Cardinals at home taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. Give me Sonny Gray to record the dub at a plus 135 juice. Grab this at DraftKings Sportsbook. I know it's been touch and go for Sonny Gray here of late. Guy in his last 4 starts, a 5+ ERA. He's got a 5.25 ERA, as a matter of fact, in his last 2 turns in the rotation, but he has been masterful at home this season. In 11 starts, he is 6-4 overall. With a 2.67 ERA, a teeny tiny 0.97 whip, and 201 batting average against. I know St. Louis has dropped 4 of the last 5 games. They're just middle of the pack in WRC plus at Busch Stadium this year, number 16 in that category. Look at Tampa, really exceeding expectations. They were strong sellers at the trade deadline, but a team that is top 10 in WRC plus the last couple of weeks. They're above 500 on the road this season at 27-25, and they're number 10 in WRC plus in those away matchups. Jeffrey Springs, his second star coming off Tommy John, is going to be towing the rubber. A guy that punches out a lot of guys. I don't really expect a lot of scoring in this game. This could be like 2-1, 3-2, could be nip and tuck, but hopefully Gray will get the run support early, go 6 or 7 strong, and the bullpen comes in, slams the door, and we score that dub at a plus 135 at DraftKings. So all that info coursing through your cerebral cortex. Lundy, fade or follow.
Oh, do I trust St. Louis? Do I trust?
It's hard. I mean, I shouldn't because I'm a diehard Cubs fan, but
well, yeah. I mean, I know that kind of goes against your bloodline, but I understand that when it comes to betting, we got to go away from some of those things. I just don't know how much I trust St. Louis in terms of pulling off some of the run support that he's going to need to be able to get the W. I think that's why you're seeing this at the plus odds that you are at the plus 135. So I'm going to shy away from this one only because I really don't trust the Cardinals.
oh boy, Redbirds, please don't let me down. And I hope to not let you down with some additional action right now at thegamingjuice.com. It's absolutely free. You have no stinking excuse. Go there right now and check out the NFL Gamers Guide. Every single team preview has been posted. Fantasy values, over under on team wins, and a season-long player prop, Lundy's favorite. You can check it out team by team in that Gamers Guide along with my fantasy ranks and so much more. I'm cranking out NFL content literally every single day on that site. Lundy's free spreadsheet is always there. Mine as well. Never put a pick behind a paywall. We got college football preview content that Ben Wittenstein and Nate Jacobson are rolling out as well. Get it all at thegamingjuice.com right now. Click, converse, and cash. ... Maybe.
Number 2.
All right, numero dos on the feed 5 countdown today. Let's get another two-legger. I love two-leg parlays in Major League Baseball. This is all hitters all the time. I actually wrote about this on the Gaming Juice, my parlay play of the day. Leg numero uno, all Vladdy Daddy, baby. He is going to spank that ass. Give me Vladimir Guerrero over 1.5 on the or the her, that's hits plus runs plus RBI. And give me JD Martinez to get a hit. Who's he going against? Oh, yeah. Lundy's favorite pitcher, Kyle Freeland of the Colorado Rockies, there at Coors. So you put those two together, plus 114 there at DraftKings Sportsbook. A little background on Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Holy smokes, is he hot. He has gone over 1.5 on the her in 14 of his last 16 games. Oh, he's only batting a measly .511 the last 15 days. So a sizable chunk there. So he is rocking and rolling. He's batting .444 against the Baltimore Orioles this season, who he's facing tonight with 8 extra base hits. And he's going against Grayson Rodriguez. Great history against him. 5 for 14 lifetime with a 1,043 OPS. And G-Rod has a 5.14 road ERA this year. So I think Vladdy Daddy will get that over on 1.5 HRR. Meanwhile, JD Martinez, all he does is tee off, usually against lefties. Now, he's batting not outstanding, but still relatively robust. .280 against southpaw pitchers this season. And oddly, Kyle Freeland inside Coors has been brilliant. A 1.88 ERA on the road. It's like north of 8. I don't understand it. Maybe the humidor is working for him. I have no clue. Usually that script is flipped. But this year, under a 2 ERA inside Coors, but JD Martinez 5 for 9 lifetime against the Rockies lefty. And on top of that, too, as I mentioned, .280 batting average against southpaws that Martinez has. That is 25 points higher of a batting average compared to right-handed pitchers. So I think he's a guy that will slap one into the outfield. Vladimir Guerrero may do this on a round tripper. He may do it on RBI single. I don't really give a damn how he does it, but I think he gets over on 1.5 HR. So him doing that, Martinez going to hit plus 114 at DraftKings. Lundy, numero dos, fade or follow.
Oh, I like this one. I previewed this one. I actually did what I'm not supposed to do, and I went and looked at the Fade 5.
Oh, you peeked behind the curtain, didn't you?
I don't. Yeah, I did. I don't normally do that. I normally like to be surprised, but I went ahead and jumped ahead on this one. JDM for a hit makes a ton of sense. Vlad on the HRR. Again, I'm looking at a setup here in the matchup that he's got. Just take advantage of it. And so I like this one. This was the one that I would have put at number 1, but that's because I really like HRRs. Unless your name is Max Kepler, because Maximilian, I don't know what his actual first name is, but he screwed me last night. I was so close on a couple legs on an HRR parlay. Kepler, He's on base, Brad. It's the 9th inning. What happens? I don't even remember who was behind him. It might have been Wallner. Grounds into a double play. Oh, there's the end of it. I got my one. I got my I didn't get my if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So we got to start all over. So Vlad's one of the guys I like for HRR tonight for sure.
Hey, Vladimir Guerrero, JD Martinez, don't pull a stupid Max Kepler.
Number 1.
Numero uno on the feed. 5 countdown today. More plus money on the board. How about Colin Rea? Yeah, you have a day, good sir. On strikeouts, give me the over just 4.5. On the road against the Atlanta Braves, and it's an outstanding plus 120 juice available there at BetMGM. Immediately when I woke up, brewed my espresso, Lundy, because I'm fancy pants. I always drink it with the pinky out. I was taking a couple of sips, pulled up the various sports books, and this one at BetMGM, and I said, "Holy shnikes, are you kidding me?" It's only 4.5, and it's plus money in the over. I was a bit miffed. I was a bit puzzled by that. But looking past a bewilderment, I think he's going to get there because Atlanta has the second highest strikeout rate of any team in Major League Baseball the last couple of weeks, punching out on 29.8% of their plate appearances. Colin Rea splits kind of maybe veer you away from this. He's got a 7+ K per 9 overall in the season. That's not extraordinary by any stretch of the imagination. 7.92 at home, but on the road, that sinks to 5.92 in K per 9. This one being played in Georgia, only a 26.7 call plus swinging strike rate. But Lundy, his last start on July 29th, who was it against? The Atlanta Braves. He had 6 strikeouts in that game over 5 1/3 innings. And in fact, over his last 3, including that rotation turn, 6 Ks, 8 Ks, and 7 Ks. All I need is 5. Cinco de Mayo, baby. And we're cashing in at plus 120. My number 1 play of the day, Colin Rea, over 4.5 strikeouts in the ATL. Again, at that plus money at BetMGM. Good, sir. Pay or follow.
Getting tempted by the juice, aren't you?
Yeah, I get seduced by it all the time.
I mean, you're pulling. Are you still trying to climb out of a hole, or are you feeling good? I'm trying.
No.
Motivation's coming from.
Well, listen, bro. I'm over 50 units on the season. And it's been tepid. My performance here the last about 3-4 weeks running. I am due for like a torrid stretch. I'm already over 3 units after Monday. Let's stay hot tonight, baby.
Okay, I see what I see what you're doing now. I see what you're doing now. All right, just keep jumping in on the plus money then. Just do whatever you do with your plus money, because you're out here like, man, I'm worried about you because you're out here doing 6-leg wide receiver BS. We're talking about Stafford. We're talking about, I mean, come on, man. Half these guys are probably going to be hurt by the time we get out of training camp. Like, you're jumping the gun, babe. You're jumping the gun.
I'm always jumping the gun. Ask my wife. Hey, if you want an instant
No, I don't want
payday,
to ask your wife that. I don't want to get into that.
You want an instant payday? Follow me on Colin Rea and follow him and maybe me some more. It's bonus time. Additional action. Obviously not going to be the futures market for Nathaniel Lundy, and it won't be for me, quite honestly, on my selections, but Major League Baseball all the time. I do, for those early listeners out there, have an Olympics prop up right now, an SGP, as a matter of fact, in the Team USA matchup against Brazil in hoops. So if you want to check that out in quarterfinal action in Paris, go ahead and do so, but I'm not going to share the bet on the broadcast, but Lundy's going to share a ton of additional action right now. What do you got?
Yeah, and we all saw what Nikola Jokic already did today.
Oh, my goodness.
So,
yes.
Best player on the planet, people.
Yeah.
And it's pretty simple. Let me give you a couple. I'm going to throw some more action up on the spreadsheet a little bit later today, especially since we don't really have any day games. We're not getting started until after 6 o'clock, or actually after 6:30 Eastern time this evening. So as I finish up the pod here with Brad and head out to Broncos training camp, I'll get some more for you because, frankly, sitting at training camp is boring as hell. And so I usually just sit and make bets while we're there.
Why not?
Do it. The producer. That's what we're doing. Hey, Brad, every now and then you see a stat that you just kind of go, or a line, I guess you could say, that you just go, what in the, what?
Yeah. Wow. Scratching your head. Like, how could it be?
Yeah. Right now over at DraftKings, how do you feel about plus 200 for Shohei to have an RBI.
Excuse me?
Plus 2 bills.
That's illogical. Are you sure it's not on a home run prop? It's just for an RBI.
Go bet it while you can at plus 200. Now, I understand part of what they're talking about, and that is if you look at the splits on Ohtani and the 80-something RBI that he has, only about 21 of them are against lefties. His success comes against right-handed pitchers. He's facing off with Christopher Sanchez of the Philadelphia Phillies this evening. However, if you rewind to the last time he faced the Phillies, he had a ribby against Sanchez. So I'm sitting back going, you're going to give me plus 200 for Shohei Ohtani to have an RBI this evening in a game that I believe is going to go over the total, by the way, which sits at 8.5. I think we're going to go over the total. I already told you about Teoscar Hernandez. I already told you about the shot in the arm that I think this team got by Freddie Freeman returning last night. And you're going to give me plus 200 for Ohtani to have an RBI. I'm not worried about total bases. I don't give a crap if it is a long ball to the track and somebody tags up from third. Plus 200 for an RBI. So first and foremost, I like that one. But the reason I found that was because I was doing the lowest of low-hanging fruit, and I was putting together Aaron Judge for a ribby and Ohtani for a ribby. But because Ohtani's at 200, that two-legger on DraftKings as of tape time is plus 515.
Oh, my God! Yeah, let's get seduced! Buy that juice, run! Don't walk. If you pull a hammy, crawl to the book and make that wager. I love that.
Holy cow, is that crazy.
Crazy.
If for some reason you want to go a little deeper, you want to play around with some of the stuff with Ohtani, I didn't build this yet, but one of the things that you could look at if you wanted to is to throw in like Ohtani for a ribby, bring the total down. Like I said, I think it's around 8 or 8.5. I think they're going to go over that. I think this is a 9 or a 10 run game. You could bring the total down if you want to. I told you that I like Teoscar for his total bases. You could back that down and take him just for a hit. You could try to simplify an SGP in this game tonight if you want, and you are going to be rolling in plus odds. And all we need is that ribby to come through for us because of the outrageous number that DraftKings is giving us this morning. And like I said, I get it. Only about 25% of his RBIs have come against left-handed pitchers, but he's done it against Sanchez already once this season. He's 3 for 7 against him lifetime with only 1 strikeout in there as well. So like I said, it could just be a long fly ball that brings somebody in. Go find yourself some of the favorites that are on the board today. I love the Yankees on the run line, by the way, the minus 1.5. The problem is that one is juiced up to a minus 135 as of tape time. So you're going to want to go find something that you can pair that with. And so it could be something like taking Oakland's probably going to continue the White Sox losing streak, which sits at 21 games right now. So you could just take them on the money line. You could take them on the run line. I mean, eventually the White Sox are going to win the game, win a game, I should say. But I don't know that it winds up happening this evening. As like I said, they've lost 21 in a row. I think they're set to be able to do 22 tonight, but take the Yankees on the run line and the 1.5. With Luis Gil on the bump for them going up against the Angels, and then pair it up with whatever else you like that's out there on the docket today. Like I said, I'll have some more for you on the spreadsheet. The link is posted up on X. It's also there at thegamingjuice.com. For now, I yield the floor to the fine gentleman from Illinois.
All right, Team Huevos, parlay play of the day time on this SGP. Lundy already teased it. Will the stretch of futility continue and get you closer to the worst losing streak in Major League Baseball history? Two-way. That was a Phillies team back in the 1960s that lost 23 straight, and the White Sox right now standing at 21. Will the White Sox lose again? I say yes. Leg numero 2, give the A's on the money line. Leg numero 2, give me Oakland and the White Sox both to score 2 runs or more in the game, and give me Lawrence Butler, likely going to be batting leadoff for the A's to get a hit. Plus 200 on that 1 simple legger there at BetMGM. Again, the White Sox dead last in WRC plus. They've only scored 34 runs in their last 13 games. Oakland number 10 though in WRC plus over that 2-week stretch. But the White Sox have scored at least 2 runs in 8 of their last 9 games, and I don't trust really Ross Stripling as far as I can throw him. He's got a 5.64 ERA, the Oakland starter, going against Jonathan Cannon. I think Oakland's do some damage in the box score. They have scored at least 2 runs in 10 of the last 12. So, Leg numero dos, both teams, I believe, scored 2 or more runs. And the Butler to get a hit. You look at Cannon, 5.76 road ERA this year. So, also supportive of just Oakland overall. And in terms of the scoring, and against left-handed hitters, he's given up a 284 batting average and 854 OPS. That's what Butler is. A hook, and a guy that's batting 348 over the last 30 days, and he's got a hit, including a home run last night as a pinch hitter in 13 of his last 17 games. So to recap, Team Huevos Parlay Play of the Day, SGP, Oakland, money line. Oakland and Chicago, 2 or more runs apiece, and Lawrence Butler to get a hit. Oh, let's get seduced. Buy that juice and extend the futility, Chicago, plus 200 there at BetMGM. Elsewhere in bonus time. Loader already touched on it. Aaron Judge, I love tonight. So for him just to get an RBI, it's plus 100. Pretty much universally.
It's actually it's up to 105, by the way, at a bunch of the books. So take
plus 105.
It's up to 105 because when I paired him up with Ohtani that we were talking about a minute ago, that's part of how that thing hit 515.
Well, I grab it at 100. 105 is ridiculous. If you want to take Judge just to get a hit and do an SGP with the Yankees on the run line at minus 1.5, that's plus 122. And I built that at BetMGM as well. So that's another way to approach that matchup. Myriad ways are there in Judge. By the way, he has gotten an RBI 14 times in his last 15 days. He's also batting 429 over that stretch with a nearly a 1,500 OPS. And he's got an RBI specifically in 5 of his last 9 games. He's going against Davis Daniel, who against right-handed hitters giving him a 333 batting average, 881 OPS, and nearly a 40% hard hit rate. So love the matchup there. Take advantage of that. And the last play for me, Luis Castillo to get the win. It's minus money at minus 110, but that's a great way to play the standard money line at a better value because that money line for the Mariners is minus 218. But if you believe Castillo's probably going to go 6 or 7 strong, which I do, in this game against Detroit, it's minus 110 for him to get that victory. He's 5-4 in 12 starts at home this season. Excellent 2.82 ERA at T-Mobile, the 1.05 whip and 229 batting average against. He's won 3 of his last 5 games. And you look at Detroit, number 29. It's only 1 spot higher in WRC plus the last 2 weeks than the White Sox. Seattle, number 8 in that category. So I think the run support is going to be there. And Montero's on the mound, I believe, for Detroit, and he is no bueno. So Seattle should be able to tee off in that game. They have won 6 of their last 10. Detroit, meanwhile, has dropped 7 of their last 10 contests. All right, I am out of breath, and we are out of time here on the Feed 5 podcast. Do us a favor, drop us a rating and or review at your leisure, por favor. Also, fade or follow us on the X, where we're always trying to give it to you. Lundy at Nate Lundy and myself at Noisy Huevos. Lundy's got to go play some NFL futures bets right now. He's got to blow through all kinds of money. He's frozen on screen for that reason. So as a result, we got to say adios, amigos. Until next time, as always, feed or follow. That is up to you.